Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon. My name is Febrioza Bagasdiarga Putra. Today at here I will present my proposal entitled The Difficulties Faced by 7th grade student of SMPN 1 Ngadirojo in English Learning with Online Class during the COVID-19 pandemic. And start with background of the study. The COVID-19 pandemic that occurred at the end of 2019 is still a problem world until recently. This virus spread so fast and almost attacked the whole world, including Indonesia in early March 2020. The development of positive case increasing causes the Indonesian government to take quick steps to be able to stop the spread of this virus. The COVID-19 outbreak also resulted in all sectors experience obstacles in its implementation, including the education sector. In accordance with the policy of the Minister of Education and Culture of Republic of Indonesia in Circular Letter Number 4 of 2020 concerning policy implementation education in an emergency period coronavirus disease, spread which discusses various matters related to education, including the learning process carried out online. Ministry of Education and Culture decree for replacing learning that was originally face-to-face or in class turning into online learning is government effort to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in school environment while still keeping the learning process running smoothly. Interaction activities between teacher and student do not occur directly in online learning. One of the alternative forms of learning that can be carried out during the COVID-19 emergency is online learning. According to Moore, Dixon, Dian, and Kaylane, online learning is learning that uses internet network with accessibility, connectivity, flexibility, and the ability to generate various types of learning interaction. Learning carried out on junior high school also use learning online or remotely through the guidance of people all. According to Isman, online learning is the use of the deep internet network learning process. With online learning, students have the flexibility to study anytime and anywhere. Students can interact with the teacher using multiple applications like Classroom, video conference, phone or live chat, Zoom or via WhatsApp group. This learning is educational innovation to answer challenge the ability of varied learning resources. This student system change will curtain not work smooth and easy. There are various problems that arise as a result of implementation this learning system. Online learning processes, activities currently require support by various factors such as infrastructure, which is sometimes still become an obstacle. Smartphone, laptop or computer as well as internet network connection currently play an important role in online learning facilities between teacher and student. But from Compass News, there are several complaints that occur during online learning, such as limited internet access, especially for those who live in remote area, inadequate smartphone specification for online learning use, and high quota fees for online. Change in the face-to-face learning system in the classroom into online learning. It does not only affect students, but also teachers will play an important role in the learning process. The teacher play a role in regulating the flow of the learning process so that students are able to understand the learning material and learning object can be achieved. The learning process is carried out through online media, forcing teachers to be able to create appropriate new learning while maintaining the characteristic of the student and having new learning nuance and not making students feel bored. The application of online learning system of course has the difficulties, especially for students. According to education expert Isa Ansari, he concludes that the online learning system implemented by school is currently ineffective because the online method had not been fully prepared, so that currently there are many complaints and problems from both students and parents. However, students also find difficulties in learning online, especially in English subjects. Of course, this is something that definitely make it difficult for students to understand and learn English lesson delivered by their teacher because they are not familiar with this new learning system. Okay, the next is about problem statement. There are two problem statements. The first is what is the difficulty faced by 7th grade student of SMPN 1 Ngadirojo during online learning of English subject? And the second problem is about how does student respond to what difficulty they have during online learning about English subject at SMPN 1 Ngadirojo. The next about objective of the study. The object of the study is to identify difficulties online learning by 7th grade student in English learning subject at SMPN 1 Ngadirojo, and also to observe the difficulties and obstacle factors were faced by 7th grade student in learning at SMPN 1 Ngadirojo. And the next about the benefit of the study. The importance of this research is to find out what difficulty and inhibiting factors are experienced or encountered by 7th grade students while studying English subject by learning online. In addition, research also want to find adequate solution to help overcome the problem faced by 7th grade students in online learning above. And the next about research method. In this research, the writer takes a curtain procedure conferring 7 components. There are type of this research. Second, setting of the research. 3. Object and subject of the research. 4. Data and data source. 5. Technique of collecting data. And 6. Technique for analyzing data. And the first is type of the research. This research using qualitative analysis is conducted by cause analysis need to examine non-quantifiable descriptive phenomena such as the process of work pace, the equation of the formula, the idea of the different definition, the characteristic of a thing and service, image, style, cultural pattern, physical model of an item, and so on. Descriptive research, on the other hand, is described as research that only defines and explains how something occurs. Furthermore, propose that qualitative research as a post-positive research strategy is used to examine the circumstance of the subject in nature, with the research as the primary instrument, triangulation as the data gathering strategy, inductive or qualitative data analysis, and qualitative research result emphasizing meaning rather than quantity. Based on the explanation above, the research takes a concept of descriptive qualitative research. This research focusing on the data source of student difficulty using online learning of English subject. Different new learning environment with an online learning method is become a main important data in this research to know student perception after effect of using online learning, especially in English subject. And the next about setting of the research. The research attend a study at SMPN 1 aimed at the 7th grade student of English education. Object and subject of the research. According to Nugrahini, qualitative research does not use the term community, but rather a social circumstance which is made up three elements: location, actor, and activities that interact synergistically. According to Goldman, the sample inside the research qualitative name are not referred to as respondent. 23 inside the research, but as resource people, participant, informant, colleague, and instructor. Furthermore, the study is referred to as a theoretical sample rather than a statistical sample, since the aim to qualitative analysis is to develop a hypothesis. The object of this research is the difficult faced by students in English subject which use online learning, while the subject of this kind of the research are 7th grade students of SMN 1 Ngadirojo will become the main data research of this research. The next about data and data source. The writer of study attend interview and observation to get a main data and information. Cross-check the data validity. The most sources in qualitative research are word and practice. According to Loveland, more sources are extra data such as paper and other things. In other words, theory is used as displacement for evidence in qualitative research to explain the origin of data. On this research, there are two kinds of data: primary data and secondary data. Primary data is the source of data that can be accessed from the direct observation, interview, questionnaire, and case study. While secondary data can be accessed from previous study, journal, theories which is suitable of this research. And the next about technique of collecting data. In this study, data are obtained from various sources using various data collection techniques and carried out continuously until the data was saturated. In accordance with the characteristics of the data required in this study, the data collection techniques used are first interview, second observation, and the three questionnaire. And the next about technique of analyzing data. Analysis of data, according to Miles and Hubman, is the process to organizing and systematically comparing data obtained from interview, observation, and documentation by organizing data into categories, describing them into units, synthesizing, arranging into patterns, deciding which one are essentially and which will be studied, and drawing conclusions in a way that is easily understood by oneself. Before entering the field, during the field, and after the field, qualitative study data was analyzed. This research is using analyzed data technique from Boken and Bigland. That's a presentation from me, and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.